Hello. What do I call
Hey,
you?
Jayne. You can just call me JJ if you
Okay.
like.
Works for me, JJ. Okay, so what are we looking at here? This is Kings Row Plat. So tell me a little bit about you, how long you've been playing Overwatch, why you play Overwatch, what your goal is, that sort of fun stuff.
So I've really not been playing too long. Um, yeah, I mean, this game is from a week ago. I've been playing as I said, I think like 90 hours or something. So I'm pretty new.
Oh, 90 hours in total, not just on Zenyatta.
Yeah. Total game time. So I suck ass basically. Yeah, advice would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. Well, that's certainly what we're gonna do.
Um,
Is there anything specific, or are you still like how much like game knowledge do you have? You know, on the range of like
like,
what does Zenyatta do to I know exactly what Stormquake's quad DPS composition was in Korean Contenders trials. Like,
okay, that sounded like a foreign language. I kind of I get like Zen's role. I understand like general mechanics of the game. I know why stuff happens mostly. Um, Obviously I don't because yeah, there's like so much depth to it. Um, but yeah, like I'd say like a basic general game knowledge.
okay.
And I've
And what
got
are
a
you trying
friend.
to go ahead?
I've got a friend who's like T500, and I used to play other games with him beforehand. So I'm kind of chasing him basically. I want to get as good as I can get. So
So back when
like.
you were playing Pong, he was the one who was carrying you. What you're telling me?
Pretty much.
Okay. So why did you pick Zenyatta, and do you pick what other heroes do you play?
So when I've played Overwatch in two stages. Like I started the game and I got like really pissed off. I like so much was going on and I couldn't comprehend it, and like, I got overwhelmed slightly. And I watched a video of you and Colorblind talking about Bastion.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. So I played a bit of Bastion.
And got flamed
Um,
repeatedly.
Pretty much, yeah. Like everyone was like, "Oh, switch off Bastion, you suck, dude," and I just hated it. So I kind of stopped for a bit, and then I came back to Zen because I thought he was just kind of cool, and I don't know. I thought I'd just give support a go, and I like Jonuk.
Fair enough. Well, let's give it a watch then. And
Okay, cool.
so I'm just gonna watch it because I want to kind of like learn a little bit more about your playstyle, and then we'll go from there and try and figure out kind of like what the best thing you can is to do, you can do to improve.
Okay, cool. I think my mic is slightly loud in the vid. Just
Oh,
so
I
you
already
know.
turned it down on my end.
Oh, okay, nice.
What's
Oh, dude, can you go Ryan instead of Arista?
Your
Or
mic
up to you, up to
I
you, up to you.
can't
I
turn
don't
you
really
down in the
mind. It's
VOD
just- Arista was so scuffed, man.
Yeah, Orisa Diva is a better tank combo.
Your team's already communicating though. I like this.
Ours is pretty good here.
Yeah, like it was quite a chatty game, which was a nice change.
Also,
And
like,
you listen to chill tunes in the background as well.
Yeah,
I was streaming at the time, so this is like a highlight from a stream. Yeah, sorry.
Nice.
I'm from
A streamer like me, I see.
Yeah, on and off. Not as good as you are.
Well, I had audio issues today. How good could I be?
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
No, no, it wasn't actually. Good
Yeah,
right
Tracer.
off the back. Good callouts on the Tracer.
And the Widow. Watch the Widow.
Good so far.
They have a Zen as well. I make us lose this fight eventually, which is really annoying.
Why do you say that?
One of my main issues at the moment is because I press Q at really bad moments, and I'm trying to get better at it.
Okay.
I guess you'll see.
I will keep an eye out for your ultimates.
4 seconds, 4 seconds.
You tend to right click a lot, like very reliant on it?
I guess like at the start of a game before stuff gets close combat, I try and just get a lucky pick or put spam damage onto shields and stuff with right clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And then when shit hits the fan, I try and left click in Discord as much as I can, pretty much.
So what's like in one or two sentences, in your opinion, what is kind of like the main difference that you use left clicking and right clicking for?
So I'd probably, if something was like a long way away, I'd go for a right click. And yeah, if it's like full health, I'll try and just basically go for the one shot. And if it's close to me and engaging me, I'll try and left click it, pretty much.
Okay.
Run discorded.
Diva 1, Diva 1, Diva 1.
This is pretty decent positioning.
Tracer bind.
Widow 1.
Tracer bind. something positive, I guess.
And what's the sensitivity on your mouse? Like DPI and sensitivity? Do you know?
So 800 DPI and 4.64 in game, I think.
Math. What is that?
It's like pretty low. It's
yeah, it's
pretty
like
low. I'm pretty sure.
3680.
Yeah, it feels like 400 DPI with no like.
It's kind of weird because like
Overwatch
it,
system.
it almost looks like your crosshair is out of control sometimes. Like and you've got a big mouse pad, I assume.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's she?
Heroes never die.
Not anymore. Behind the point. With Tracer. Low. Nice. Fuck! Don't choose it.
Let's get you back in the fight.
This is all pretty okay so far.
Oh, my bad.
Nothing special. Just waiting for the fight to kind of happen.
Oh, my bad. Someone dropped the hotel.
Tracer right side flank.
Someone low. Nice goal. Right is dead.
This Tracer was so annoying.
Tracer right side again.
Team up for special attack.
Mercy one. Nice move. High record.
Widow top left.
Just one.
So you took the duel with the Tracer and died. Are you gonna get rezzed here? No, res went on a Hanzo. Okay.
I get a hilarious
I
res
can't see
later.
her. Where's she? Where's Widow?
You went like round in front of us. Steady.
Tracer right side, guys. Still.
Maybe people low in front of us dead. Widow left. Run us down.
Um,
Nice.
Let's get you back in the fight. Heroes never die.
And low.
Tracer behind.
Widow somewhere in front of us.
Ah, you fucking
Low
bitch.
ground.
I agree. I also tend to think that way about Tracers when I'm fighting them.
She just wouldn't leave me alone the whole game, and I know she's my counting stuff, and that's her job. But oh, it was so. I have my ult.
Team up for special.
You're even like so you're communicating and you're even like signaling the presence of your ultimate. Like you've used the communication wheel to signal your ultimate. That's
Oh
kinda-
yeah,
it's kind of cute.
I'm just so good.
You know your Z key does that automatically.
I know now.
Yeah. So usually people when they want to like so especially if you're like it's kind of how people are spam like I want to use my ult or like I'm going to use my ult is they just like slam the Z key 4 times in a row and they're like bam 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 bam. So it's also just faster than hitting like C to open the menu,
C,
drag down,
and
and then you
like-
lose your
yeah, yeah.
vision. It's usually just better to use the hotkey.
Yeah. Z.
If you are going to be using your transcendence like this, there's really no reason not to wait till like literally the exact last moment to do it.
Okay.
Because there's no damage in like previously, so that's just kind of like a little thing that is. It's not like a mentality or thing. It's just like you want like anytime you are going to use your ultimate, you're going to want maximum value out of it. And like in the last Ana
Yeah.
coaching video I did, we talked about it with like Nano Boost, where if you're going to be using Nano Boost on your Reinhardt, you have to let the Reinhardt know so that he like goes in, starts taking some aggression, takes some damage. The enemy kind of sees that the Rein is quote unquote making a mistake. They commit to it.
Yeah.
He receives Nano, and then he gets even more value out of it. So there's kind of like there's value to wait until like the last moment in a lot of ultimates. And in this case, the same one with Zenyatta. Like the first like pretty significant amount of your ultimate is used or is useless here. But it's fine.
Widow left side again.
It turns out to be the wrong decision. I don't know. I kind of panic queue quite a lot.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like so.
But basically, we lost this fight because of that.
Like it's very, very common to be overwhelmed when you kind of like don't know how all the characters work or how all the compositions work or the ultimates or like you're not kind of used to paying attention to the clock or tracking ultimates. Kind of like at this point you just saw something that would keep you alive. You didn't know how else to stay alive and you pressed Q. Like this is one of the things. This is one of the problems that will just naturally correct themselves as you play more. But
Okay.
until you kind of like all the little things on your screen until you kind of learn to realize what is important and when it's important. For now, it's like okay to be overwhelmed and okay to panic. Just as you kind of like, as you just realize like what is the main source of your confusion, the main way to kind of like get rid of that like panic that kind of like scared anxious is just like learn about the situation and how to react to it. Anytime you're trying to like learn something, you know, if we want to kind of, if you want to improve on something, so for specifically like specific Genji techs, so, or like in Zenyatta, is there any like real techs? There's no real equivalent text, but if there's kind of, no, there's not really on Zenyatta, except for like melee animation cancels. But for more explicit text, kind of like, God, I want to find a good example that you'll probably be like know about. Like, for example, do you play Pharah at all?
No, I don't. I kind of know how she works.
So you've played Bastion though, right?
Yeah.
So you know, like Bastion's ultimate in tank form, when you can shoot a rocket, you can heal in between like the rate of fire of his rockets without slowing it down. So like that's something that you would learn about through kind of just like reading about it or being told about it. And then once you have that information, the first couple of times you actually try it in a game, just because somebody has like told you how things are, when you go into a game, it's not going to make you able to instantly do it. You have to take that knowledge and actually kind of like apply it and figure out, you know, how it's actually performed, how it works. You'll kind of get used to it, and then you kind of actually learn all of the if, ands, or, but, because of in the moment. So yeah, in these situations when you are kind of like panicking about the queue or whatnot, it's probably just because you're not used to the situation, you don't have the information, or you don't know like all the variables. You're just kind of like going with the safe play, and that's okay for now until you like learn the possible outcomes. So I wouldn't feel too down about that part.
Okay.
Trace
bind.
No, Widow inside with Marcus.
Oh, Slow's get a Discord on the Rhine as well. Just
Yeah, well, he landed in our shadow like that. Like, unless you have some sort of defensive ultimate to block it after the ultimate has already come down, it's pretty hard to stay alive. Timely flanking.
Just get a regroup.
Good calls, though.
This fight, I'm going missing.
Widow.
Nice shot.
At me. Thank you. We win to push. Don't give them space.
I ground Marcus.
And you want to play aggressive, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm stuck in this elo, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I don't want to be. I was watching something you did last night, and you were going on about support syndrome.
Yeah.
And being like a super passive support, and I was like, this was actually before I watched that vid, but now I'm just like, okay, I want to try and get these picks. I want to kind of press
Like,
the enemy.
I like it. I do like it. This is a great mentality to have, and I can see that it's like you're kind of like peeking right, and anytime you're kind of like, I could go aggressive here, you're taking it and you're trying to look for it. You just don't know like how to go aggressive,
or have the ability, yeah,
or have the ability. Like, yeah, your mechanics aren't stellar, like they're okay, but there's certainly nothing to write home
but yeah,
about.
mainly I'm just pissed off. I just want to get a pick and just like get the game going in our favor, kind of thing. That's kind of why I'm doing it.
So yeah, but like there's a whole bunch of ways to like carry on Zenyatta. You can carry by getting picks, but you can also just carry by having a like insanely high ultimate charge rate, because your ultimate will win games. It's one of the most powerful in the game. It's probably one of the top 5 ultimates in the game. It's probably like Graviton, Hammer, Barrier, Transcendence. What's another really powerful ultimate? I don't know. We'll just go with those 4. Those 4 are like right up. EMP. Thank you, EMP.
Cluster.
I knew there was a 5th one in there. I was like, what is the? Yeah, it's EMP.
And to get your ult quick, is that literally just tank spam that does that?
And healing.
Or is it just kind of
harmony rotation? Because if you just keep your harmony orb on whatever target is like taking the amount of aggro, like you want to be able to move it around. If you just like keep it on like your main tank, especially if it's an Orisa, she's not going to be taking a lot of damage. Where maybe like a Tracer or something, she's going to be like more engaged in combat for like longer. Maybe you heal up her more over time, but like harmony rotation is kind of like really important. So there's other people like Mercy doesn't want to kind of like go to the front line, and not always in this composition, but Mercy wants to be doing a lot of damage boost and kind of staying safe, doesn't want to have to Guardian Angel forward, where your orb has like a 30-meter distance to be applied, but will stay on the target regardless of range, as long as you're in LOS, and it will stay for like 3 seconds afterwards. So your orb can be like really well just like moved around to people who are kind of like always fighting, and then people who are being healed up in the back, you can kind of leave to your other healer.
Okay.
Okay, ground below. Oh. Someone behind us. Going behind us, someone. Where you are.
No one can hide my sight.
We're still looking at it.
I shot. Ash high ground as well. Right side.
Heroes never die.
Ash top left. This was a really weird moment. I don't know why our Mercy decided she wanted to get picked, but she did.
Oh, she went into Valkyrie and tried to pistol them down?
Yeah, it was just like, oof moment, pretty much.
Eh.
Except for, like, we lost our Mercy. Mercy dead, Mercy dead.
That one.
Do you know the damage output difference between left clicking and right clicking?
I know that left click is slightly more powerful. I don't know the exact numbers.
Slightly more powerful? It was like, does it do 10% more damage, 20% more damage, 30%, 50%?
I would say 20% per shot.
It does more than double.
What?
Left clicking consistently does more than double the damage output of right clicking consistently.
Okay.
So right clicking is used for like burst damage, and you're going to be using it when you're using covers. You only have like little moments when you want to catch people in transition and things like that. But when you actually want to like shell out damage, charge your ultimate, and be accurate, it's got to be left clicks. It really does.
Okay.
So like especially in goats compositions, for example, when it's like Zen goats versus Zen goats, left click is used almost exclusively. Like no matter how far away they are, it's left click, left click, left click, left click. Because any of those orbs hitting the Ryan shield, that shield is dropping way faster than right clicks. Like just as Zenyatta, if you take 2 Zen goats or Zen like teams, or you know what goats is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you get 2 teams with Zen goats smashing into each other, the Zenyatta that right clicks is at a significant disadvantage. So like ult charge building, if you're just wanting to like spam down shields, anything like that, left clicking is superior.
Good to know.
I'm gonna go behind Ash.
You're gonna want that one back, aren't you?
Yeah, that one was really ass. I did that because I just wanted to get the fight over with, and I just wanted us to win. I wanted us to like push forward, clean them up, basically.
In your head, when do you ever say like this fight is won or this fight is lost? Do you ever think about those things?
Yeah, I know I should think about those things, but I just I don't yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
That may be a good starting point for us. Maybe we found a starting point for you.
Hi, coming. Nice shot.
Nice.
Good job, guys.
I'm dead. Is that Bastion? Bastion one.
You just he hopped the Orisa halt.
Where?
You didn't see the Orisa? Or the Bastion? Look at the Bastion. He just gets like pulled and goes flying because of the Orisa pull.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Right. So watch for the Bastion. He's gonna just like be thrown in front of him. Right? Hey!
Is that Bastion one.
Nice. Picks on Zen, dude.
Low.
Nice shot.
Good.
Good job, guys. Good job, everyone.
No, good.
Should we, okay.
Where do I grab the plant?
No one can
How's the
hide
Bastion stuff
my
there?
sight.
Oh! Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some moments in games where it just kind of feels weird. Like, and this I would say is a weird moment where I don't really know what to do. Where our whole team's kind of spread out and their whole team is kind of spread out, and there's no real structure. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, do I just spam? Do I try and get a pick? Like, what am I doing here?
So like,
and yeah, that's kind of what happened here. I just kind of
having some default conditions or tasks for yourself is always going to be helpful. You know, it feels like you're lost. You're not sure what you should be doing. They're regrouping, anything like that. The number one thing that you should always kind of like fall back to on Zen, if you have nothing better to do, is charge your ultimate. So like you have a lot of targets here. So charging your ultimate means you want as much damage as possible. So you want to be kind of like left clicking, especially if there's no barrier. So like if there's a diva, on a high ground, but there's a Reinhardt approaching you, Like, if this is during the fight and breaking the shield is something that is going to be helpful for your team and you have enough other damage on your team, you can kind of like try and break the Rhine shield. Or in this kind of situation where they're all like spread out, you're not necessarily being attacked or any under threat, you can just try and just charge your ultimate. So like there's different ways to win. There's different ways to kind of like win team fights, because in Overwatch, as the higher and higher up the ladder you go in Overwatch, the game is going to become a lot more based around team fights. So gold and moving into platinum are where team fights actually start to develop into like set things. So in platinum, it's going to be kind of like a roll of the dice whether or not team fights actually happen all the time. Sometimes it's going to feel like a 6v6 deathmatch, right? And it's just like complete chaos and everybody's DPS and you're like, I don't know what happens. It's just like you're basically on Chateau Guillard, but there's a payload somewhere and nobody knows what it is or where it is or how fast it's going or which checkpoint it's on. But once you actually get into like team fights, there's different ways of winning team fights. So there's kind of like there's that time where everybody is moving around, and if nothing goes wrong for either team when they're moving around, then they like smash into each other and somebody walks away from the winner. So you can either win during the team fort. You can either win during the team fight, or stop for the opponent from being able to take a team fight in the first place. So that's kind of like your main two reasons. Once you actually are in a team fight, Zenyatta, unless you like clutch out some crazy nonsense, is going to usually, especially in Platinum, be able to win team fights with his ultimate. It's such a powerful ultimate. It's just like everybody's alive and there's a Discord on somebody, and then you just kind of like get a second chance at life. So especially if you kind of like, you know, use the ultimate to turn the tides and then you help clean up afterwards, you're going to have a pretty significant of your ult to the next fight. So and then if you're in that area and you can like end a fight, so you can end a fight by, you know, sniping people in the head, right-clicking somebody, something like that. But Zen's pick potential is also pretty good, and that's where you can kind of like surprise people who are regrouping, find people who are standing still with a right-click, things of that variety.
Okay.
What? Oh, okay. Can I get a res, Mercy? Thanks, you.
This was the res, the best res ever.
Never
I
mind.
even asked for it as well.
You know what? You wanted to stay in that fight. I appreciate it.
I'm dead. No. Maxi behind.
There's a lot of battle mercies in this game, isn't there?
Maxi behind.
I'll go roadblock for example. I'll go right. Oh, nice pick.
Move up.
My ultimate is charging.
Bastion on cart.
This is good. Well, yeah, like right here, it should just left click. The alternative to left clicking is if you want to go on like some crazy flank and be like where Widowmaker is, or on the left side, if you like think you can get behind the shield, but like only for a moment before they notice, or something like that, then you'd go for right clickings. But at like this distance, using sight lines and not trying to get like one distinct pick against like a Widowmaker or any sort of sniper hero, just left click.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize. I had no idea it was double.
Yeah,
Hell.
it's pretty insane. And like Zenyatta's damage output just on his own is insane. So if you're consistently headshotting a target that has Discord on it, if you're just consistently shooting a target that's Discorded, you do 150 damage per second. No, that's not right. It's 300 damage per second. No, that is right. God.
Sounds like Bastion.
Yeah, so Bastion does 450.
Okay.
So Bastion does 450, but Zenyatta, if you headshot, it's 300 damage per second, and if you don't headshot, it's 150 damage per second. So like Zenyatta's damage output is actually insane, especially if you can land those crits.
Back up. Nice ult.
Thank you, Mercy.
That's the right side.
Ryan Discord.
So just in terms of like pure value output, even if you do the exact same things you're currently doing, but you learn the difference between when you should be left clicking and right clicking, just like doing the exact same things, your raw damage output is going to be higher. Right? So
yeah.
that's the bonus.
Yeah.
Bastion ult.
My
Oh,
damage
okay.
was pretty Pepega this game, not gonna lie.
It happens, friend.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Okay, can we get a Bastion? Someone pick Bastion. I'm going to reset.
I'll do it.
Okay. Mercy, come back.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Run inside.
Max and run.
We almost have trance.
Stop brain. Ash one. Huge strength. Focus back to no shield. Back on one.
Is there a way that Bob's targeting works? Because I was so annoyed when he got me at the end of this.
Huge strength.
Like, is there a specific target they go for? Like, does he start with supports, then go tanks, and then DPS, or is it literally just target kill?
I don't know this for sure, but I assume it's the same as Torbjorn's turret. And Torbjorn's turret, what it does is it targets the first person it sees until it can't see them anymore. Like, regardless,
Okay.
it's not closest person or anything like that. It's not closest person. I assume Bob is the same thing, but I've never actually like tested it. So I guess that's a very good question. But the way Torbjorn's turret works is if it sees somebody, it will stay on that person until line of sight is broken or they're dead. So
Okay.
we could test it, but I'll test it another time. It's not that important. It's not like if it's a Torb turret or something like that, there's ways of abusing it in the fact that like line of sight is normally kind of like broken by shields, but it doesn't affect Torbjorn because Torbjorn will shoot the shield instead. So like standing behind a shield won't cause the Torbjorn turret to switch targets. So one of the ways, like if you want to make sure that your Tracer can still go in and they're using like the Torbjorn turret as a way to defend their Zenyatta or something like that, you need somebody else to draw aggro on the turret, and then your flankers won't be targeted. Because like a Genji or a Tracer getting targeted by Torbjorn's turret is like really frustrating. And it's one of the reasons why the hero is like Torbjorn's actually kind of like a decent pick against flankers, just because especially flankers who are trying to carry a worse team, you know, there's nobody going to be able to tank the aggro of the turret that just permanently tracks them. So.
Okay.
Helden sterben nicht.
I just have a general, like, quick question about goats.
Yeah.
But what makes it so much stronger than 222? Or why do competitive teams use it instead of 222? Because NYXLF plays like Pine at their disposal, and I just don't like. I don't know. I feel like he would offset. But clearly, goats is way stronger than 222.
How detailed of an answer do you want?
Just like a general summary. Like I'm getting because nothing dies, lol. That's kind of enough.
Yeah, like Widowmaker, like what happens if you shoot Zarya in the face or something like that?
Okay.
They don't die, and then you've just given the supports 300 units of ult charge. Like,
Okay.
So it's one of the things is that, and also Goats doesn't really care about positioning. So if there is a target on the ground that cannot escape, Goats will just like press W up to it, not caring, because they have 2 bubbles, 2 shields, defense matrix, and 3 healers. So they just don't care. They run at you, and then you die. And then they go and they run at the next thing, and then they die. So
Okay.
it's very hard to deal any sort of damage to them because they have so many defensive abilities. And if you do kind of deal damage to them, then they have the 3 defensive support ultimates as well. So it's just a super, super high sustain composition. And Lucio enables it to go onto any ground-based target it wants. And then the other good thing about it is because it has so much sustain, you can defeat it given a long enough time, but that long enough time thing is usually too long, and the Goat's composition, even if they can't chase you down, can pressure the objective, which will force somebody on your team to contest. And unless you yourself are running a full Goats composition, you can't ever contest against Goats for any significant period of time. That's probably about as simple of a summary I can share. Does that make sense to you?
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it does pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll watch this back probably a few times.
So yeah, if they have a target, they're just going to speed onto it and kill it. And if they don't have a target, they're going to pressure the objective. And their sustain is extremely good.
Okay.
Extremely good. A lot of defense. You know, they have so much healing, right? So, and most people, when Goats first came out, they're like, just anti-heal them, lol, forehead. Like, just use Anna's nade and make them all purple so they can't heal up, and then they'll all die. But, like, just same thing, right? How is the Ana going to land an anti-nade against a Reinhardt shield, a Brigitte shield, you know, past D.Va's defense matrix? And even if they do, then the Zarya is just going to be like, oh, you're purple? Not anymore, lol. So it's like, there's a lot of things that kind of like work on paper that in practicality just don't work against goats. One of the other very large strengths about goats composition, you've heard of dive comp, right?
Yeah.
So dive composition has a lot of very intricate pieces to it that need to, like, the timing is very precise. There needs to be scouting, there needs to be staging, the diving needs to be well timed. You need to kind of like all arrive at a single target at the same location. The ultimate usage is a little bit more intricate than goats. It needs to be more well planned, both in offense and defense, in terms of like countering offensive attempts. And then goats is W. You just like press W, and as long as everyone on your team press W, it's kind of okay. So in goats composition, one mistake isn't going to matter, but in dive, one mistake does usually cause the composition to not succeed. So goats also does a really great job of covering any individual mistake, unless it's quite an egregious one.
Okay.
Get close to the point. Get close to pillow.
Adversity is an opportunity.
I'm going Genji. Just a touch.
Nice ult. Diva, what the fuck?
Yeah. Welcome to Platinum. Best team ever.
But I felt poor. I have no clue about
I can't remember. I think it's in this clip later on. Some Ashe gets her ult and just fires her bob into the abyss. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
I think it's this game. I'm not sure.
And why do you not swap onto stall?
Because I didn't know. Who should I swap onto stall? Like Lucio? Or
It
literally
doesn't really
another
matter
tank?
why. Like, there's a whole bunch of options. May's a good one. Doomfist is a good one. Wrecking Ball is a good one. Just
Okay.
it works out maybe like 10% of those times, but it's 10% more than it'll work out on Zen unless you have your Transcendence.
Okay.
Nice pick.
Point.
Keep contesting it. Don't
Yeah,
get
over time. There's no point anymore.
Excellent.
Okay, what's your battle net?
I'll just get it.
Goes in the auto.
Arriving at Shadowgia.
True self is without form.
And then follow me. Okay. So what do you know about Discord?
I welcome adversity.
It increases your damage output when you land shots.
Do you know by how much?
I don't.
So
Is it double?
No, it's actually not. So
Okay.
it used to be
Okay.
30%, but now it's 25%. It was recently nerfed. And the other thing about Discord Orb is that it so it's just like your Harmony Orb, that if you have it on somebody, let's use this pillar. So this is the pillar we're going to use for our practice anyway. So stand like right here. So Discord Orb is on you. If you go behind a wall, it's going to disappear after 3 seconds, right?
Sure.
So it's the same thing with Harmony. Now, you also put the Discord on me.
There is
So you see the red icon above my head?
Wall hacks.
Yeah, so it also gives you wall hacks. It doesn't like actually show you the outline, but it shows you where the player is, okay? So
Okay.
the first thing is, I'm not going to tell you how to do this at all, but we're going to Discord each other, and then we're going to try and kill each other starting on the other side of this pillar. I want you to use whatever combination of left clicks or right clicks you think is best, but we're just going to give this a shot and see how it goes. Okay, so Discord me. Okay. And then, well, as soon as we go behind, I'll just go like 1, 2, 3, and then we'll start trying to kill each other. Okay?
Okay.
So, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to get used to that feeling. You're going to feel that feeling a lot. What do you think your mistake was?
I charged right, and you waited until I kind of made my shot, and then you knew where I were, and then yeah, I have a big head.
Okay. Discord me.
You are your own
Ready?
worst enemy.
1,
Yep.
2, 3. you don't want to stay next to the pillar. I see how it is. So for this exercise, we want to stay near the pillar. It's always good. So like, I guess the first interesting question is, because I didn't specify it, why did you like back up away from the pillar?
So I could engage the fight when I want to do from here, I guess.
So you wanted to use like so you backed up to be safer and use your own cover.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So if you like, there's the combination between like, what is the advantage about being close to a corner and being far away from the cover? Like, it doesn't have to be a corner; it can be any sort of cover. What is the advantage of being close to cover compared to being far away?
To cover.
Yeah. So this is whether it's a wall or a corner, right? So if you are sitting right at this corner and I'm sitting far enough away from it, like back here, not in cover of my own, both of us have an advantage. It's a different advantage, but we have an advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your advantage and what is my advantage?
Well, I can peek, and your advantage. I can basically engage the fight if I want to.
Yes, that is correct. That is your advantage. Is that the person closer to the corner gets to decide whether or not the engagement happens.
Yeah.
So what does the person far away from the corner have?
You sort of. I don't know, you kind of know where I'm going to be?
Yes,
maybe?
That's a great one. So I know where you're going to be, but if you're peeking out, unless I'm using cover of my own, you don't know where exactly I am, right? Because if I'm sitting anywhere between like here and here, I can have my crosshair placed right perfectly where your head is, and you don't know where I am. You don't know where I am. So especially if you take this all the way to like a sniper duel or something, the person close to the pillar has the decision about whether or not the engagement actually occurs, but the person kind of farther away has the advantage in terms of like the fight itself.
Okay.
So it depends whether or not you want to choose to fight on the engagement. So if you want to actually kind of like, in the case of like the right clicks, right? You started charging first and I started charging second. So I stuck really close to the pillar because I knew that as soon as you fired your right click, I needed to force that engagement in the brief window between you firing your right click and me firing my right click, because I didn't want to shoot a pillar, I wanted to shoot you. So, the game here is that both of us stick really close to the pillar, and we're going to be doing a combination of peek fights, placing Discord on it so we can keep track of the opponent, and then whether we right click or we left click. So right clicking, you've already kind of determined, is probably going to be a bad thing, because as soon as you start right clicking, like listen to this, right? Not only is it loud, but it also has an increasing pitch. So it lets me know what you're doing, and it lets me know the timing of what you're doing, so I can very, very easily react to it. If I'm a Genji or a Tracer and you're right-clicking, not only do I get to tell kind of how many orbs you have, how dangerous it is, I get to know when you release, and you don't have a choice. After it releases, do you know the recovery time on Zenyatta when you actually fire out an orb?
I know there is a recovery time. I can't give you the
I
figure.
believe, unless I'm crazy, it's 0.65 seconds. So it's just barely over half a second recovery. So it
just kind of a lot.
Yeah. So not only does it give away your intentions with the noise, it locks you into an animation, but it has a recovery as well. You can't change the position of your Discord. You can't change the position of your Harmony during it. There's a lot of downsides to it. Like, it's a very, very powerful ability, but it's got a lot of downsides, and better opponents, if you don't know when to use it, are going to abuse it against you because it's very easily telegraphed. Okay, so stick to this pillar, don't retreat away, Discord me, and let's fight.
I welcome adversity. Assistance would be appreciated.
So you are an aggressive man, are you? You just like to fight me all the time. Like, you just kind of like gave up the cover and just ran at me?
Pretty much.
And why did you do that?
I'll play with my brain this time.
Okay. So the thing is, like, let's start out a little bit differently, right? So, let's do a different concept. So if we're using this circle right here, right?
Sure.
Who has the advantage if I'm running away from you and you're pushing me? Who has the advantage? So if you're chasing me around this circle and I'm running away, which one of us have the advantage in this situation?
I would say the person being chased.
Yes, and why does the person being chased have the advantage?
They kind of know where you're going to be if they're like trying to get you, kind of.
Not only that, but Zen is not a hit scan, he is a projectile.
And you can just kind of
So
hold your
I'm
crosshair
aiming
in one
into the
place.
future, and you're aiming into the past. Right? So if we're spinning around this corner, if you're trying to shoot me in the head, my head hitbox is going to be even farther behind cover by the time the orb catches up to me. So if you try and like aggressively peek me, especially in a circuit and a chase against a projectile, they can shoot where you're going to be, and a projectile can't kind of like shoot into the future around a corner. So projectile players being chased usually at a bit of an advantage there.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's just kind of like, especially just how this actually works right here. So what I want you to do is just Discord me, right? So if I'm behind this corner and you see me strafing out, you can like shoot before I'm visible so that the timing of my head peeking is the timing of the orb smacking me in the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one of the benefits of the Discord is you get to see when I'm peeking and you can shoot the orb before that happens.
Okay.
Okay. Discord me again. Let's try the duel again.
Adversity.
It's amazing how many little tiny concepts there are about like literally just fighting around a pillar. Okay. let's just like wave we'll like just to make sure the Discord is on each other. What we'll do is we'll wave. We'll say 3, 2, 1, and then as soon as you can't see any of me anymore, the duel will start. 3, 2, 1.
I am under attack. A momentary setback.
Nice. So what'd you do differently that time?
Well, you gave it to me, kind of, but
Did I?
I think so. I mean, I was the one chasing you that time,
Yeah.
but I heard you charge up, and I got my Discord on you, and you didn't Discord me for some reason.
Well, it's Discord. You can't Discord somebody who's not in your line of sight. So you got the Discord on me during the peak.
I think I got lucky, and you were facing one way, and I came the other.
Yeah, right. If I don't have the Discord on me. Oh, it's good though. Let's do it again. Discord each other. 3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Darkness falls.
Gotcha. So there's that like Discord shooting into the future sort of thing. So what did you try that round?
What did I try that round?
Yeah, what did you try differently? I assume you're trying out different tactics.
I tried to follow your movements quite closely. Wait for you to take the first shot, and then when you've taken it, make a move.
Did you have Discord on me during that? I didn't think you did.
And not towards the end, I don't think.
Yeah, so especially if the Discord's off, like one of the main priorities is like whichever Zen gets the Discord on the other, especially if it's asymmetric, has a huge advantage. Because they also can just like push, and like Discord itself, not only does it have an animation, but it actually has a very, very brief travel time. So you want to make sure you always have Discord on.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
Okay. Wave. 3, 2, 1. Let's start.
I welcome adversity. I require aid. Bask in the shadow of doubt.
So you peeked me when you had the Discord up, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Getting better though. It's like especially you know a discorded headshot does 120 damage. So if you're ever below like 120 damage, you have shields. There's no reason to continue to take the duel. Just stall out and wait for your shields to regenerate.
I welcome adversity.
Ready?
A momentary setback.
3, 2, 1, start.
There is disquiet in your soul.
Nice. Much better.
Sorry.
See, you're already making progress. Let's do one more, and then I'll teach you some different Zen shooting techniques.
Is not
Okay.
preordained.
Where are you? There you are. Okay, ready?
I welcome you at your setback.
Oh, I missed my shot! You should have died there.
Why did you right click?
Because I had Discord and you didn't, so you didn't know which side I was going to come out.
Okay.
Oh, you had Discord, though. I didn't think you had Discord on me. I wasn't paying attention. That's just a solid mistake from my side, then.
Tranquility.
Tactical trans.
Just speeds things up. Yeah, I didn't realize that you had landed Discord on me, so that was a mistake from my side. One more time, then. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh! I like your aggression.
Two
I like
headshots.
it. Very beautiful. Look at this. Yoink. I like it. Good stuff. Okay, let's do shooting techniques.
Adversity is an opportunity for change.
Just a few little concepts and you're a dual master. Okay, so there's a few different like shooting patterns on Zenyatta. One of the things that I noticed, and this is kind of like one of the things that kind of like how you'll duel just in general. So one of the things is that there's movement patterns that are very important on Zenyatta that really allow you to be a little bit more survival. So when you're shooting things, you just kind of like go into location and shoot, which makes you very stationary. You are a floating circular hitbox. So you want to do the best that you can to actually kind of like remove that from possibility. So the first and easiest hit like movement pattern on Zenyatta is just to kind of like go back and forth at the rate of fire on Zenyatta.
Okay.
So the thing is that you want to, you're moving and then you take a shot while you're strafing in that direction. And then immediately after you've taken the shot, you go the other direction. So you have like the duration of the strafe in order to kind of take your shot. So it's like it, and then you shoot right before you change direction. And that makes it constantly in motion, but it also allows you the time to aim, and it gets you into kind of like that pattern as well. So you can just go into the wall and just shoot back and forth and back and forth. So shoot, 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 shoot. And if you wanted kind of like a version of
Shit, sorry.
no worries. And then you can also just do it twice as fast, where you kind of are always strafing the same direction when you change. So just very simple like that. It will make very, very minimal loss in aim. Like the movement pattern is such that it'll still be easy to aim because you have that moment where you can actually adjust your crosshair, fire the orb, but as soon as that orb is out of your hand, you're changing direction, so it's harder for you to be hit. So that's probably like the most relaxed version of just like being in the open. And then there's the other one, is that like Zen's right-click animation, when you do fire it, he kind of like ducks down a little bit. So go ahead and
It's weird.
Just go ahead, right-click so I can show stream. So he ducks down, which actually makes him like really, really annoying to kill. But the thing with right-clicking is that you want to kind of like, you don't want to be doing it in the open, is that if you're actually doing it, you just want to spend as little time as possible outside of the corner. Like, honestly, it's to the point where it's okay if, like, the first and the last orb get hit barely on the corner. I'd much rather that be a possibility than spending too long in the open. So, like, be behind a corner and then just barely peek and try and get all the orbs out. Like, that's pretty important, just playing around cover in general, because especially if you're only spending that long around of it, but the only time you're actually exposed from cover is when your head hitbox is actually kind of, like, ducked down near your chest. So it makes you a lot easier. If you kind of like duck or peek out and then right click, especially if a Widowmaker is like holding their crosshair steady, it's going to be really easy to kind of like pre-fire you. But if you've kind of like, if you've ducked by the time you're peeking out, you've kind of manipulated your hitbox a little bit just to kind of be that much safer. And then the final technique is if you are trying to like left click somebody like that, it's also, you just want the ability to combine the movement patterns that you have. Oh, I don't want to hit this wall. And just like at the very edge, you want to just be peeking.
Yeah.
And shooting around corners like that.
This is like the definition of min-maxing.
Yeah, it is. But as you get higher, like a lot of these things, one of the key things that people in Platinum just like don't realize of it is like how important cover is, because nobody kind of punishes you for bad positioning at this elo. But getting used to like sticking near walls and kind of like learning these movement patterns so that if you are ever in the open, you're actually hard to kill. Little things like that make big differences and will keep you alive for much longer.
Okay.
So you got those like 3 movement or the shooting patterns. When I be right click, and just be like right at the last moment. That was horrific, but anyway, so we don't talk about that one. And then just like shooting patterns on Zenyatta, and then corner peeking to actually kind of like get some extra damage out. So yeah, and then whenever you're actually like dueling a Tracer, for example. Actually, let me just like go get on Tracer.
Oof. Okay.
Pass into the iris.
Okay, so when you're dealing with Tracer, right? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be right-clicking Tracer or left-clicking Tracer?
Left clicking.
You're going to be left-clicking
Unless
Tracer.
I Discord her and I just want to like give it a shot and try and delete her.
Yeah, so if she like doesn't see you, that's fantastic. But like the thing with like Tracer as well is that even if he's taken no damage previously, if you do, so what I want you to do is like left-click on me, but then kick me at basically the exact same time. So you actually have to like headshot me, but like a headshot and a wait for me to actually go get health.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, so if you headshot me and kick me, it's an insta kill if I'm discorded.
Okay.
Nah, we'll go over here. So, and that's also just one of like the cool things about Zenyatta is like his melee is not reduced in damage, so that when he's discorded, he's insta death. So if you kind of like force a Tracer to go close quarters with you, you can just insta gibble them with a flick, where it's just like shoot melee. You can make it even quicker than that. Like I still saw the shoot animation. You can completely get rid of the shoot animation
Wait,
itself.
do you press them at the exact same time?
As long as one is like a singular frame before the other, they will still work in conjunction. Try it.
Okay.
There you go. So on
That's pretty awesome.
on the kill cam, I shouldn't even see you throwing the orb. I should just insta die to a kick to the face.
That's sick.
So I should just look like a kick. Boom. So I died. Yeah. So that's the like, and then melee does 37.5 now, right? Used to do 39. Does 37.
I can't believe you remember this stuff.
Yeah, well. But, so long story short, now that everything that you've learned about Zenyatta, you know that you want to be fighting a Tracer with left clicks.
Yep.
Now, do you want me to fight? Do you want to be fighting me in open territory, or do you want me to fight me in cover?
Well, I want to be fighting you in cover.
And why do you want to be fighting me in cover?
So I can kind of, well,
Two things-
just like control the
two-
fight more.
Yes, because if
My
you're closer,
mobility is ass.
like
I
if
need
you're
everything,
closer to the
like-
cover, what was the thing that we were talking about, like engagements, right?
Oh yeah.
If
yeah.
you're close to the cover, you can control it.
Yeah.
And it also, because you're so dangerous with your kick, if a Tracer is ever within melee distance of a Zenyatta, the Zenyatta has the one-shot potential. So it's very, very dangerous for like Tracers to get close to Zenyatas, because it's just like, not only is the head hitbox easier, and Zenyatta is a projectile, which makes it even easier to hit the headshot, but you can also just like punch people, and you do 37.5 damage. You also want to know something cool about melee?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to look away from you.
The fuck?
Melee has a lingering hitbox. So look out directly 180 from me. So if you're
That's
ever
insane.
fighting a Tracer in close range, it doesn't matter where they are. Throw your punch out and just whip your fucking mouse across your mouse pad. You will hit them.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do to mess up Tracers. Okay. Do we want to put higher cooldowns? I don't know. Let's see how good you are at this. Like, let's see. Okay, so you start... Yeah, you start right here. And I will just come around the corner. And we'll start dueling.
Alright.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're gonna have to turn your abilities higher.
Arriving at Chateau Gia.
Cheers, love.
So you should have a bajillion health on Zenyatta now.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Okay.
permanent beat.
Since you've got so much HP, I'll be coming at you from above to start with.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I start from anywhere?
Just somewhere close to the Apple Lady statue. You can't leave the courtyard. That's the rule.
Oof. Okay. Okay.
Like, you can use the pillar for cover, but, like, don't cross the bridge.
Okay.
Okay. Coming in.
Just in time.
So why did you right-click there?
Because I panicked.
Okay. So step 1 to winning duels is don't panic. Try it again.
Sound advice.
Are you at max health?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so which one of your
Ouch, that
movement
was
patterns
close.
involved jumping?
None at all.
I'm back.
Correct. So why did you jump?
Habit.
So what does jumping what does jumping really do for you?
Okay, I know that jumping makes you really much easier to hit.
Yeah, it
I
does.
just do it because yeah, jumping.
So you've got the headshot weapon, right?
Mhm.
And I've got the tracking weapon.
Yeah.
So if you jump, you're throwing your aim off when you need it, and you're making it easier for me to track you.
This is true.
It is. Let's do it again.
Wait for it. Now, where were we?
Was that a kick or a headshot?
It was 2 headshots. I will try the kick next time.
Assistance would be appreciated.
Oh, 2 headshots. Nice. 2 headshots are fine.
Back to work.
But if you are in close range, like, even if you're close, like, a body shot kick is still fantastic. Never
Yeah,
look down
yeah.
on the body shot kick. Body shot kick together is like 97.5. So, it's really decent. Puts, like, 97.5, which puts them low enough to be killed by a body shot, right? Yeah, so it's either 1 headshot and a kick, or 2 body shots and a kick. So even if they're close, it's not a like it's a great idea to just go for like the body shot kick animation cancel, because after that a single body shot is the break point that the tracer will be at.
Much better.
Nice.
So up close, get those kicks in there. Coming for you.
Let's try that again.
Your reactions on
You're even
kick-
asking me to kick you and I can't do it.
Yep,
Okay. I think I was forgetting to Discord you as well.
that's fine. If I'm in close on you, kick me. But don't just kick me, shoot kick me. Do that animation cancel.
Yeah. Probably should have reloaded.
Oh, nice kick.
One cannot survive.
That was a headshot kick. It was delayed, but you did it. So you don't have to fear me.
Back in the fight.
Like if you move away from me as well, it makes less of your like more of your movement. So one of the things is that like you're scared of me, right? So like when we're close like this and you back away, like even if you're trying to like strafe like this backwards, you can't have as much lateral motion as possible. But when you're like really up close with a person and you're like this, like it's really hard to track. So you're just like by retreating, you're just making it even easier for the tracer to track you, or really anyone to track you. So, and the other
Okay.
thing is that, like, did you see in the very first duel, like, Tracer's fall-off distance is, like, 10 meters, right? So how much damage did I do to you there?
Like 200?
Yeah, so 200 from this distance, not even aiming for the head, right? Is if you're caught in the open against a Tracer, 1 clip and survive, you're lucky. 2 clips, you should be considering yourself dead. You don't have a lot of time. You have to be using corners and cover, and you cannot be afraid of the Tracer. If they come in close, you have that opportunity to headshot melee them, and you need to take it. Okay.
Do you have kick on your mouse?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
And stay down.
Wow, that's kind of embarrassing.
It happens. That's why we learn.
Much better.
So what is like the main, what are those main things you're thinking of when you're actually like dueling me on Tracer?
Land as many shots as possible. Try and get close for a kick to the face.
Like you're not going to be able to purposefully close the distance. You know, like if I ever go within distance, you can react to that by like flicking and trying to animation cancel, but you're never going to be able to purposefully close the distance. You can kind of like bait it. So you could use like this corner if you wanted to. Like this isn't going to help you that much because it's not really a corner, but like try retreating to this pillar. Or using, like, instead of playing in the open, like, play, like, right up here. Like, get right close to the statue. Get right close to corners, this pillar, things like that. And if I get close to you, you can't forcibly close the distance on me, but I can on you. And if I do that, getting greedy, punish me for it. But the thing about that is that, like, you've got the Discord, and you want to be threatening, but you should also be thinking about, like, where I'm going to blink. I'm never going to be blinking, like, right at you. So you should try to be react, right? So if I'm, like, right here, where are the places that I'm going to blink? Where am I going to blink?
Sort of past me, behind me.
Well, you're that's not, you're not quite far enough away, but the chances are is that I'm going to blink over there, right? Because I can't blink through the statue. So the chances of me going from here to here is pretty good. So you should be waiting for that and ready to react to that. And hopefully you can make that kind of like correction in your aim in one singular motion. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Let's go for it. You're jumping again.
Oh no.
Ever get that feeling, deja
Come
vu?
back here. Oh yeah, I don't have recall. I already used it.
Bum, scoot.
Nice kick! You knew you already landed a headshot on me, so as soon as I got close, you just booted me. I liked it.
This game is so stressful.
Yeah. It's only stressful when you don't know what to do. But especially if you just like keep track of the damage on me, right? 2 body shots and a kick, or 1 headshot and a kick. Okay, ready?
Where did you go?
I don't know. Where did I go?
I think you're in the corner again.
Maybe. Let's go for it.
Now, where were we?
Oh, you got me. Nice shots.
Thanks.
Why did you turn left in the very end there?
What do you mean?
So I blinked around to your right, but you did like, instead of turning like the 150 degrees to your right, you turned like 270 degrees to the left.
I don't know, I just,
So do you, like, is your sensitivity so low that you have to lift your mouse to kind of move it further? Like, hold on a second, like, look at me. Lift your mouse up off your mouse pad. Put it on the leftmost part of your mouse pad. And then drag it in
180.
180? Is that what you can do?
I think so.
Monk ass.
360.
You can do a 360. Okay. I definitely wouldn't put it lower, but that's so I was just like, you want to be able to do at the very least like a 180 in one swipe of the mouse. I've got a ding dong at my door. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we're back. So, okay, so basically, I want to get you. You want to be doing those like aims in. Okay, actually, you stand right here on this spray. So I'm either gonna blink to your left or to your right, and I want you to look at me in one motion. Like, I want you to just be like, wham, he's there, or wham, he's there, sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, good. So yeah, like that little reacquisition is fine, but you don't want to kind of like go 45 degrees at a time. Ready? Good. Not bad.
Kind of overshoot it a bit.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to the amount of that you need to change your mouse.
Way overshoot. Okay. Cheeky double.
Triple, but yeah.
Oh.
Oh, there was 2. Let's do one more.
Yeah!
Better. So you'll definitely want to be able to get confident and actually kind of like turning around to find your targets. Do you wear like this was one of the things I'm not sure the cause just from like watching the video there, but your awareness felt like either like do you wear good headphones?
Yeah.
Okay. Hit options or hit escape, go to options. Then go to sound. Scroll down. Do you have Dolby Atmos for headphones enabled?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what the
I'm gonna blame the music on that one, Jayne.
Maybe. Okay. Out of all these drills that we've done in the courtyard here, any questions been raised? You're a fast learner.
I appreciate the stick.
The iris.
Not really. Like, yeah. I mean, I guess like practice is the only thing I need. Well, amongst other things, but like the main thing is just me sitting down and playing for X amount of time, or
Like-
for like a good amount of time.
You said you were a streamer, right?
Not really, but I sometimes do.
Do you want to turn your stream on? Let's play some comp.
Sure.
I'll just watch.
Oof,
I'll just
okay.
watch you play some comp. Then you can ask me mid-game.
Okay.
Turn your stream on, dude. Okay. So what's your SR right now? Show the profile. Okay. So what's your SR right now? Show the profile. Okay, 2400, 2830. Nice stuff.
Yeah.
So you really are like a Zen main. And you've been on as high as 2830 before. Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like Zen.
Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I wonder how long it's going to take you to find a game. Do you just
Hopefully
like
not too
insta-log Zen right at the start?
Like every now and then I'll wait, but more often than not I find that people are quite slow to pick supports, so it's usually an option for me.
Usually, yeah. Okay, so yeah, since you are a Zen main, just go ahead and lock that shit in. And then the first thing that I like to do is kind of like when we're already like getting ready. So when we actually kind of like start playing in comp, there's going to be like a lot of things. So the first thing is that there's always going to be a massive time delay between you actually being told to do something and you being able to actually kind of like implement it, right? So they're like, we've already kind of like shoved the fire hose all the way down your throat. It's already almost coming out your ass. Like there's a lot of new information just being fed into you. I'm not expecting you to do everything perfectly. So the first thing that I need you to do is not get frustrated when you make mistakes, things that you like, are wrong, or things that you have just recently learned are wrong. Because it's always going to be a difference between kind of like learning something and actually being able to move it into your skill set. So first thing is that even though you learned a lot of things that we just talked about, you can't get frustrated if you aren't able to do them in an actual game, because it will take a while to transfer knowledge into actual skill. And the next thing is that like, for the first little bit, until you get comfortable with me being here on comms with you, I'm not going to be a proactive coach. So we've already seen one game. I'm going to be a reactive coach. If you're dead, or if you're like struggling and you're panicking and you just like, you don't know what to do and you legitimately don't know what to do, just ask. And I'll do my best to like give you some tips. So I'm not going to proactively coach you for the first little bit. If you need help, you ask it. And I'm just going to kind of like sit here and watch, and I'll chat to chat. But yeah,
Okay, cool.
Enjoy your game.
Are you going to be able to hear what I say? Obviously you will, probably.
Yes, because we're in this call together.
Alright, cool. Hey guys. Alright, cool.
Obviously.
Hey guys.
Hola.
Can you repeat?
Okay. One of you guys able to run a support? You guys able to run a support?
Oh no.
Oh,
True self is without fault.
I'm going to have to mute you.
It is not my preference to see to matters personally, but I will see them done.
Ivan is the strongest team tank
Attack
team.
commences in 30
I'm
seconds.
strong tank.
Strong.
Yep, I'm strong tank.
Okay, so first things first, think about like who on your team you're gonna have to keep your harmony orb.
Things first, think about.
Oh god, the lag. But keep thinking about who you're gonna have your harmony orb on. Like your Reaper, if he flanks, is gonna need it, and if your Orisa gets attacked, focus on that as well.
Is gonna need it, and if your Orisa gets attacked, focus on that as well.
2, 1. Attack. Capture objective A.
Oh yeah.
Nice pick.
Dude already landed a headshot. Look at this, jiggle peeking already. So Harmony Orb probably still needs a bit of help here. He's playing a bit farther back than he needs to be. But so far he's being safe.
Nice pick.
So probably one of the things that I'll talk about is we talked about the use of cover, but one of the things that we didn't talk about like
Discord on Doom.
practically using cover. So I'll probably talk
just wait
about
for
like
regroup.
moving up with cover. So like as soon as he's got as much value as he can from this corner, he can just like move forward to the next corner where he's safe and get value from there.
Go from behind.
Ryan above.
So he's still focusing a lot on right clicks here.
You can play Reaper he's so bad.
And doesn't like there's not going to be much value unless he like gets the kill on Pharah. There's usually going to be better things for him to actually
Nice pick on
accomplish.
Farah.
Good kills there.
Push point, guys. Ryan's discorded and low.
Wonder if he reactively trances this. Nice. Good left clicks here. No call out on the target he's focusing. Get him! Get him! He's kicking him to death! I love it! Unfortunate. It's not doing that bad. Tasmo. What are you doing watching Twitch?
We might need like a shield tank or something, guys.
Our boys got gold damage.
Reaper sacked so hard.
Our boys got gold damage, chat. That was a good right click. I always
Discord on Doom,
forget
right
how
inside.
quiet European
flank.
server is compared to North American server.
Farah above, discorded. Push
Good
point,
call
guys.
there.
Discord on Zarya. Trying to get on Ryan.
Good Discord or
Nice
good
pick on Ryan.
Transcendence.
Watch Doom ult. Discord on Doom, huge, huge. Nice, nice.
So he doesn't know
Fire
about
above.
Discord's invulnerability frames. Like Discord is invulnerable until he starts to stand back up. So that right click was good. He just launched it a little bit too early.
It's gonna be a long game.
Okay. Let's see where he positions here. This is a good spot for him. Good cover. His Harmony is on Hanzo right now. Swapped it to Roadhog.
Rig Discord.
Doesn't warn about the...
Ryan Discord, right flank.
His overall Discord calls could be improved. Like, he could say it more often, especially when he wants the focus. And then he could, like, warn about flanks there.
Doom Discord, main. Just wait for our tanks to come back, guys.
Comes. He's doing well. He's doing well.
What is Reaper is and what he's doing?
Yeah, I could have definitely given him orb earlier there.
Discord on Ryan, on main.
So probably, like, I'm going to probably talk about managing cover. So kind of like
Doom low,
moving
Discord.
forward to maintain value. And then probably
Monkey
harmony
diving me.
rotations
Nice pick.
are probably going to be the two main things I want to talk about here. I thought I was going to talk about like winning fights and losing fights, but I don't
Ryan
think
discorded
it's
me.
relevant as much. Good. I'm not sure if I would have tranced there.
Should I get the Ryan, guys?
So I think he might have to increase his
Nice pick,
sensitivity.
nice pick.
I don't think he's
they have main now.
very confident or comfortable with turning 180s at all. So
Hey,
his,
no Ice Cube.
like,
Doom on point.
his aim will improve with time, but you still want to be able to be confident enough to actually like turn a 360 and a 180.
That's for me.
Or maybe he doesn't know where that Moira went after Fade? I don't know. He's jumping. He's jumping against a Moira, chat. He's jumping against a Moira. Hey, Red Shell. I'm in gold these days. How are you doing?
Jesus Christ, Reaper.
Has the new meta kicked you out of plat yet?
I'm the only one tank there now. Okay.
30 seconds.
He's no longer jumping against her. That's good. Pog champ. Our boy's a monster. Yeah, see, he. Oh, I have to refresh now. Unlucky. But our boy, he definitely is just like against turning 180s. He's not comfortable doing it, so he needs to increase his sensitivity. Like he obviously heard the barrage behind him, but he couldn't react to it. He wasn't comfortable doing the 180. Good.
Doom, Doom, Doom. Nice pick on Doom. Where's me?
They're
Ryan
winning.
discorded, he's really low. Nice pick. Nice, Sancho, May behind you. Discorded. Nice.
Pog! He did the kick! He did the kick! He's carrying! Our boy! He's carrying so hard! He's learning. No, don't die to the Doomfist. Oh,
Point. Discord on Ryan.
he could like right click while walking through the shield. We didn't talk about that at all, but you know what? Not bad, chat. Not bad. Yeah, his like ability to 180 is very strange sometimes. Because like occasionally I don't know what's going on. Because like occasionally he just like will not 180, and then other times he'll be like 270-degree turn instantly. Okay, what's this guy saying?
Let's just try and get 2 tanks this time consistently.
How you doing, friend? Give me a second. I have you muted. Wait, give me a second. Huh! That half went pretty well. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's going okay, I guess. Could be going better.
You're doing pretty well. What are you thinking? What are you doing well? What are you doing bad?
I haven't got too much to get behind it, I'm not gonna lie.
That's where cover is always superior to tanks, because you can trust cover to not move and always be there for you.
Okay, I'll try that.
Nah, you're doing well. You're doing well. Keep it up. We'll talk after the game, but just like you're kicking ass, dude.
Okay.
You're kicking ass. Okay. The old coach through encouragement.
Decent pick, I guess.
True self is without form.
Just call the Discords and if they go Pharah.
Yeah, I'll
I usually got the Pharah down, but
yeah, no, you're doing well, man. I'll
I believe
I'll
in
let
our
you know
boy.
when she's got Discord.
I believe in our boy.
What have they got? They got Ryan, May, is that a Hanzo? Brick?
Pharah.
Pretty gross. Alright.
And they have No, I have the fire as well.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
He's gonna die there.
Trying to feed too much ult charge. Hold.
He's by a corner. Good start.
Lol.
Left clicking.
Shield, that's,
Reload during wall. Nice. Back to left clicking. Like it. Harmony rotation. Also good.
Going left flank. Anyone got eyes on Farah?
He's left
May
clicking.
on point.
I like it.
And Hanzo. Ryan left.
Good call out. He's doing his best, chat. Get him. No fear. No fear. Fear.
No worries, nice hold.
I'm gonna write that one down so I don't forget.
Repetition.
We're gonna talk about triage and priority.
Okay, we have Dragon. We've almost got Trans. They're likely to have Shatter soon.
Jayne, please move the mouse. Sorry, friend.
Watch mine.
No, your Brigida's walled off. Help her! Help the Brigida!
My Discord on him. Okay, we lost our Brig. Nice pick. Dragon behind.
Just walks through it, no fear.
Run into that.
Yeah, he did walk into that one.
Okay,
That
we've almost
soldier
got Bongo.
is very dead.
Hog's just ulted.
Yeah.
No
but
fear,
it's
Pog
okay.
Champ.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's
Trying to get
but
a.
he's out there
Okay.
contesting the
Rest in
cards,
peace,
yeah.
Mercy.
I believe in you. You're gonna
Just
clutch
try and
this
get a
out with
regroup
trans.
on.
You're gonna clutch this out with trans.
That's unfortunate.
Spamzo. Spamzo. This soldier's so dead to that same Hanzo. Or maybe not.
Guys, can I get some?
All
Okay,
my
I'm the only one healing now.
friends are dead. Save the soldier. Save the soldier. That's your soldier. Get him! Get him! Don't stand on the mines!
Unlucky, guys. Okay.
Unlucky. Unfortunate. Okay.
Play of the game.
Okay. We'll tab back in. Okay, how'd that game go?
Oh yeah, so well, man.
Well, you know what? Not that bad.
Can't win them all.
Yeah. So yeah, like the things to talk about. First of all, you were probably one of the better players on that team. So that loss was not your fault. You were still doing really well. So some things is that we need to move some of like the theoretical stuff that we talked about into kind of like practical application. So
Yeah.
the first one is kind of like cover usage just in general. So you were in a good position off the start, like right at the bridge, but then as the fight moved kind of forward, you stayed in your very safe, like comfortable cover, where you were kind of, safe. That's what you wanted. But the fight had moved kind of like well on, past where, like everything, the fight was actually happening. So
Sorry, wait, was this us attacking or
this was you
defending?
attacking
Sorry.
on the first point, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what happens is basically when you are playing Zenyatta, and like especially in areas like or in games like that where things are extremely chaotic, you want to kind of like move forward in kind of like very distinct steps or discrete steps where you kind of like want to move forward, moving to the next cover, moving to the next health pack location. So there's going to be kind of like a time period where you're going to be a player in a safe area and you're going to get so much value that the opponents are going to have to fall back. And then once it's safe you move up and start getting value from the next position.
Okay.
The also like one of the biggest things that you need to improve on just from like your raw mechanics is going to be like your harmony orb. So your harmony orb, in terms of like the priority for what you actually drop your harmony orb on, things that are in combat are probably the things that you want to harmony orb the most. Like it's not a probably, like you can duo with the guy, it's totally fine.
Okay.
Duoing and trioing is a legitimate climbing strategy. It's not a bad thing. So especially if it's one person you can rely on, it's totally fine to duo. So yeah, especially like the Reapers, the Brigidas, anybody who is like actively fighting needs Harmony on them. After that, it's going to be like anyone who is about to enter into a fight or is about to die. But there's this one point where you were standing with the Hanzo, the Ana in the back line, and then the Orisa was in the front line. So the Reinhardt fire striked, right? So he hit the Orisa in the front line, and then he hit both the Hanzo and the Ana who were standing with you in the back line. Who do you, like, what is the order of those 3 targets do you heal up with your Harmony Orb between Orisa, Ana, and Hanzo?
Probably Ana first, because she's a support. That was probably wrong.
Like, what about being a support requires her to have the Harmony Orb?
Well, I don't know. If there's 2 supports, then you can kind of prop up the rest of your team a lot better than just having me, because I'm not even a full medic.
What if you were a Mercy and it was the Zenyatta who took the fire strike?
Alright, sorry. Oh wait, Tonic, hang on 2 seconds, dude. I'm just gonna mute.
So like the Ana can't heal herself, right, without using an important cooldown. Harmony isn't a cooldown. So that's like, you would want to heal the Ana. Now all of the Ana mains in chat are going to be like, heal the Ana first. But if the Ana is in no immediate threat and the Orisa is being attacked on the front line, the Orisa is the one in combat. The Orisa one is like in risk of dying.
Okay, yeah,
so,
sure,
like,
sure.
Orisa first. But if the Orisa is not getting pressured, then the Ana needs to be first. But if it was like somebody who is out of danger, like Zenyatta is going to be getting a lot of value about kind of like healing people who are constantly in combat. So if the Ana can wait and is not immediately being attacked and somebody else is fighting, keep the orbs on the people who are fighting, and then after that, it's going to be like supports who can't heal themselves.
Okay.
And then after that, it's going to be anybody who's about to die, like in risk of dying, or about to kind of like enter into combat. But keep the orbs on the people who are fighting. Because if you're healing somebody up in the back line and then a frontliner dies, well, you're all going to die pretty quickly.
So did I just leave my orb on or not use it at all that game? Or...
Your Harmony uptime overall is pretty low. And then you pretty consistently put it on targets in the back line who need healing instead of kind of like the most aggressive member on your team. Right?
Okay.
Harmony Orb is extremely, extremely powerful when used on people like Tracer, like Genji, or like Reaper. Especially Reaper. He already has lifesteal, and now he has an extra 30 HPS, and then if he ever needs help, he just goes into Wraith, and during the entire time he's invincible, he gets more HP. Like, you literally can't stop him from gaining that health. Or like Brigitte, where you can just like sit there with shield up and get some HP while they can't do anything about you. So keep it on the... Yeah, you can queue right now. That's enough information for now. That's enough information. You can queue with him. Let's get another one going in. Okay, so now that that's happened, I'm going to be a little bit more proactive in talking to you about kind of like what you can do during a game.
Okay.
Oh, it's Volskaya. Good luck.
Thanks.
So I'm going to mute you on Discord. I will listen to you through stream and talk to you through Discord.
Okay.
Talk to you through Discord.
Okay.
Wait, that's not going to work, is it, chat? Because I'm still going to hear myself.
Hey, guys.
True self is without form.
Alright, let's give it a shot. I muted myself.
You guys hear me? I think so.
Okay, let's see how he does.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Look after yourselves out there.
Ah, nice skin, Winston.
Mr. Positivity over here. Look at this man.
Hi.
That is loud. Okay, we'll want to be looking for him to be more aggressive with cover and better Harmony usage. So he still needs to... He could have tried to use one of his like the jiggle peeking or a right click, since he did land the Discord on the sniper. No Harmony Orb is up right now. It was a little bit late transferring it onto the Winston.
Spam Ryan shield, guys. He's got Discord. Ryan has Discord. Right hand side.
Good Harmony movement
Okay,
onto
just go
her.
for regroup.
Nobody's
Wait for our
talking.
tanks to come back.
This is going to be
Nice
an
sleep,
interesting
Anna.
one. Okay. So Harmony Orb still needs same thing. So it's going to be a while for him to actually kind of like
Watch
make
out,
those changes.
Reaper.
Good Harmony.
Ryan has Discord.
I'll flank them from back.
Okay. Ryan has Discord.
Immediately swaps to left click. That's good.
Nice. Nice Hammond.
Good Harmony swap. He's being attacked by Torbjorn.
Nice pick on Torp. Ryan has Discord.
Slow on the Harmony transition onto Winston.
This was a mistake.
This was a mistake.
Nice pick.
Widow's one hit.
Ah, could have. You wanted to be ballsy. You could be like you could have gone for the trance there. That would have been hilarious. I would have approved.
Help Reaper, guys. Nice one, Bull.
It was a mistake for the. He's got gold damage again. Our boy's got gold damage again. PogChamp. He could be asking Reinhardt to like hold his shield up so he could outduel the like the Hanzo or the Widowmaker from range and just force them to move. Like his options are shoot from behind shield, jiggle peek, or right click.
Alright, let's push up, guys. We have the
Jiggle peek
we
is
have
the
two picks.
dangerous,
Let's go.
or the most dangerous. Right clicking is like the middle,
hold on
and
top,
then
right-hand
safest
side.
is just use the shield,
Turret
hard
down.
shield.
Alright, push on point, fight on point.
So the correct call is going to be like Discord. So you can't change Discord when you're in trance, but Discord doesn't go away when you press the trance button. So usually the correct call out when you trance is going to be like either anchor on me or like on me, come to me for heals, anything like that, or just like start screaming the thing you have Discorded. And that was kind of an unfortunate situation where I didn't see if he jumped in the duel against Iana, but he lost in the duel against Iana. That definitely happened.
Jayne is an excellent teacher.
I think you have your buddy muted. Chat is telling me that your friend is
Nice, guys.
muted.
I think you have your buddy muted. Chat is telling me that your friend is muted.
He did jump against Iana?
I'll unmute him. Sorry, Sonic.
Ah, not too.
I just ignore. Let's okay, where's the rest of our tanks? Discord on Bull.
What is that ball doing?
10 seconds.
Right, let's push up. Last fight.
Guys, I can't stall this. There's not enough tanks on point.
Unlucky. They go for the full hold.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
Should we go bunker?
Yeah.
Prepare your defenses.
Oh.
Select your hero.
Who wants to go Bastion?
Probably is not me.
Oh my god, this PTR is beautiful. This is the best one yet.
I mean, we don't have to go bunker if we're not sort of cut out for it.
I like this guy's
Do you
mentality.
want to
though.
go Ryan Zarya?
Like super positive mentality. What about have Discord and Harmony Orbs on the wheel? Personal preference. That only really works if you use 3 fingers on, or like, so I can't do that. What am I doing?
Or Zarya.
Yeah, just go Zarya.
This was explained to me as like people who use the wheel are the people who kind of like use the middle finger for the scroll wheel. I use my pointer finger for the scroll wheel. This was a conversation I had with Karku. So people who use scroll wheel with middle finger can do that for Zenyatta, is like bind Discord to the scroll wheel. But since I use pointer finger for scroll wheel, that's not a good key binding for me. But yeah, so that's where like the Zenyatta
Diva, your main
scroll wheel
main
Discord
job
and
is
Harmony
to
thing
play.
comes from. It's from people who use middle finger scroll wheel.
2, 1. Attackers in.
Somebody will help.
Defend objective A.
They got a Sombra too.
We pulled this last time, chat, and it was like 50-50. So if you're like, who the f uses
right side.
middle finger scroll, or who uses index finger scroll?
Fuck,
50% of people do.
Okay, we lost our.
You ever played Bunker with a Reinhardt instead of an Orisa? The olds have.
This is not gonna end well.
Yeah, so sound, like, his sound cue reaction is a little bit on the low side, and I don't know what causes it. Okay, well that was a short game.
Ah, no, two and you have to jump down.
It's entirely possible that he just, like, doesn't recognize sound cues yet. For example, like, he doesn't recognize the Sombra stealth sound, or maybe he's not kind of comfortable with directionality yet, or anything like that.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing. Today's question comes from Lemon Floss, and Lemon Floss says that they're a mid-diamond player who's feeling like they're boosted. They play Genji, Brigitte, and Zarya, but no matter what hero they're on, they're really struggling to find impact in their rank games. And in my opinion, this can happen for one of two reasons. First of all, if you're having no impact on the game regardless of what hero you're playing, maybe it's something to do with game sense, like you don't understand ultimate economy, maybe synergy, or win conditions, something of the sort. So you could consider trying to learn more about the game, and that could be done as simply as watching some Grandmaster or top 500 players and how they perform. Alternatively, it could be the exact opposite problem, where you're flexing so much that you're doing okay, or you're already playing the perfect hero for the situation, but because you're always flexing around, you've never spent the time to actually hone in on those mechanical skills necessary. Even when you are playing the right hero, if you're not playing it optimally, you're still going to struggle. So consider to yourself which one of those possibilities it would be, and then hone in on that weakness and try and improve it. Either focus down on the game knowledge that you're missing, or focus down and grind the mechanics and the techniques of one singular hero. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you at the next video.